In the Old Testament, the people of God were most often personified as a young bride, the bride of God, God's beloved. And when the nation falls into sin, then the innocent bride is transformed into an evil woman, a woman that doesn't keep her word, a woman that wanders after every crazy idea and every new pretty bauble rather than staying true to what she knows is best. This is a common theme that we find in many prophets and what we read in Jeremiah today. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore I have continued my faithfulness to you. Again I will build you, and you shall be built, O Virgin Israel. The word translated virgin is also used for any woman who has not yet been married. God speaks as a groom deeply in love with his bride. The image of the Virgin Israel is a wedding image. God's relationship with his people is like a wedding, a great party of joy and love. Even if the bride changes and does evil things, God still loves the bride. Love does not get turned off by the actions of the beloved. The love can endure through many dangers, through many bad acts. We see it in many abusive relationships where the person says, I still love him, even though they're being tortured and abused. It is not right to be in an abusive relationship. God calls on us time and again to make our relationships right so that we ourselves can do what is proper and right. This sinful woman motif for the people of Israel is partly responsible for how Mary Magdalene, who had 7 demons expelled from her, gets lumped in with the prostitute at the party or the woman caught in adultery. Mary Magdalene is often portrayed as a woman who has lost herself in sin, especially in counterpart to Mary, the mother of Jesus, who is said to be immaculately conceived and perpetually a virgin. It's important to remember that we are often more like Mary, who had the demons taken away from her, than like Mother Mary. Jesus and the Old Testament don't both talk about the importance of the redemption of the lost. Redemption was a big institution in the ancient world. Remember, every nation went to war every year. Every nation went to war every year. Every year a nation would start a war with someone and would go out to steal cattle or to take a town or to raid a village and take slaves. And what would happen is every year any prisoners of war that wanted to go free had to be redeemed by their family. The family had to go out and buy them back from their enemies. Likewise, there was no bankruptcy. There was no way to end a debt. If you got too deeply in debt and your business failed, you and all of your kinfolk could be sold into slavery. And so it was up to the greater family, the clan, to buy you, to redeem you from slavery, or not. When the Bible talks about redemption, you should think about rescue. You should think about someone doing more than is necessary to set someone free. It's sort of like how Mary Magdalene was rescued from their demons by Jesus' exorcism of them. The demons had possessed her. Was their possession her fault somehow? Not likely. People didn't think of possession as being a fault or sin-based thing. It was something that happened to you because of the forces of evil. Did the demons cause Mary to do evil things? Very likely. That's how people would know that they were demons, is because the person would do evil or violent things. We do not know what the demons made Mary do, but she went on to dedicate her life to Jesus. Mary is the first to see Jesus on Easter. She is the one who is first to see God's saving work through the resurrection. This makes her very important. She is the first Christian, the first true Christian, eclipsing Peter. Too often we take the Bible literally and ignore the symbols and figures that are also part of the story. Mary is the symbol of Israel, the lost Israel, the sinful Israel, but who, even though has lost their way, can still be redeemed, can still be new as a young bride, ready to start a new life and a new love. Mary is trying to get back on the right path, and God in Jesus sees her and wants to reinforce her good works by showing her how much she is valued. She is the first to see him in his new heavenly body. Mary has come back from a dark place. At the start of our story today, she is weeping for the Lord. Does she think God has deserted her? Very likely. Does she think all that the good that Jesus has done has died with him? Possibly. As Julius Caesar, the play, puts these words into Mark Antony's mouth, often the good that men do are interred with their bones, while the evil lives long after them. Mary likewise could have thought that what good Jesus had done has now gone, as his body is now breathless and lost to the land of death. But the angels come to break her out of that thinking. Both the angels and Jesus ask her, Woman, why are you weeping? It does not occur to Jesus or the angels that the empty tomb is anything to be emotional about. Death is just an instant. God is not the God of tombs. God is the God of the garden. Jesus is not about death. Jesus is about life. That is what is important to keep in mind. But Mary in this instant is overcome in this moment. And this often happens to us. Time does strange things to us. We can often get caught in a moment. It is one of the themes of U2's anti-suicide song about how don't get caught in this moment. Don't think that what you're feeling now is all you'll ever feel. This will pass. It will get better. This time we're in will get better. We have a chance to make something new, something better on the other side, just as Easter is about the newness of life in our risen Lord. You know, it's been very hard for me in many ways because I live at least half of my life planning for the next thing. So I plan Easter out a month or more ahead. I plan my worship stuff a month or more ahead. But with all that's going on now, it's hard to plan. When will we get to be together again, all in one place? We do not know. We hope it's May, but now I just got a call from a doctor saying that they were going to push off my appointment till at least June, because that's when they think they'll be back to normal. Who knows what the future will hold? And often that's the scary thing. We don't know what the future holds. Mary likewise doesn't know what the future holds. All she knows is her Lord is not where she left him. His body has been taken and possibly defiled. God wants us to think about eternity, but not about tomorrow, not about the future, but to think about forever. What are we doing that will be worth being told 1,000 years from now? What we do for someone else, how we help other people, that is worthy of something to be told to many people. God wants us to think about forever. God wants us to think about our soul, not our body. God gives us good things in this life, but does not want the things of this life to blind us to the time to come, the life to come. As Jesus says to Mary, "Do not hold me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brethren and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God. This is Easter. We are separating so that we do not spread death to our neighbors and our loved ones. It is a great work to do. Today on Easter, we're about life and love and eternity. This is Easter. This is about ascending, not being caught in our sorrow, but moving up to the wonderful things God has for us. I hope this message finds you well. If you need any help, please contact the church. God bless.